All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you. We are here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant once again, just after Christmas. The place is popping. People are down here eating, lunch and hanging out and watching the big races on the TV screen and placing their bets next door to the OTB, which you have to do as well. They've got a lunch buffet here. They've got all-you-can-eat specials, boneless wings, steak, spaghetti, and meatballs. They've got an array of beers on tap in the bottle as well. This place is outstanding. Mike Shelley and the gang doing a terrific job. Really appreciate the Phoenix Sports Restaurant just off of 481 exit. Right off the Phoenix exit, you come up, you can see it from the exit. You take a left and another quick left, and you're right here to enjoy a really good time. Awesome ambiance, great lunches and dinners, great place for a business meeting, you name it, here at the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. All right, I want to get into here 9 minutes with Mike Lindsley on IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. I want to get into the college football playoff preview. We're a couple days away as we record this, but let's start with the Cotton Bowl matchup of Notre Dame and Clemson. And I think out of all four teams in the college football playoff, Clemson or Notre Dame probably is the team that most people are thinking doesn't have a shot at winning the national championship. They're the team out of the four that people are talking about the least. Well, I'm here to tell you that I think Notre Dame's defense is going to hang in there pretty good and get Clemson a little frazzled. Remember, Trevor Lawrence is a freshman quarterback. He is a true freshman quarterback who's really sound in the pocket, unbelievably strong arm, but he's still a freshman. It's still the big stage. He's going up against a veteran Notre Dame defense. Do I think Clemson's a better team? Of course. Do I think they have more NFL guys, more athletes, more speed? Absolutely. But I think Notre Dame's defense is going to be the key in this game in terms of keeping this club in the game. And I think when you take a look at the Notre Dame side of things, we know that they've had some success offensively this year. They made the quarterback change. It's going to be very difficult for them going up against the Clemson defense by the same token because that front line is so unbelievable. When you look at guys like Austin Bryant, you look at Dexter Lawrence, you look at Clennon Farrell, you look at that big group up front that just dominates you from a defensive end and defensive tackle standpoint. Clemson is absolutely a wagon. There's no question about that. I am going to take Clemson in this game. I think they pull away late, but I think it's close right up until the end of the third quarter. I'm going to go Clemson 38 Notre Dame 31. So 38-31, I'll take Clemson over Notre Dame. And I think both teams will score because it's just an offensive game no matter what. It's very hard to keep offenses down, but I do like them by a one-possession game. I think it's going to be a lot tighter than people think. Now, moving into the big one, this is the big bowl game of all of them in the college football playoff between Alabama, the number 1 seed, against number 4 Oklahoma. And what just jumps off the page at you right with this matchup is talent. It's the absolute incredible amount of talent that is on both of these rosters in terms of NFL players, NFL draft guys, and hey, a baseball guy too, right, who won the Heisman Trophy. Kyler Murray of Oklahoma is where it all starts and ends with that club. He's a red zone machine. He throws it really well. He runs it really well, and he keeps defenses off balance. The question is he going to be able to go up against Quinnen Williams and the host of Alabama players on the defensive side and keep them off balance? This is going to be the best defense he'll face this year. It's going to be the best defense he's going to face probably in his entire career. We know that he's destined, he says, to go play for the Oakland Athletics and play baseball, but a lot of people think that this guy should put his hat in the ring in the NFL draft because he is that good. He is that dynamic. He's a little bit more mobile like today's quarterbacks. So Kyler Murray, it's going to be starting and ending with him. If Oklahoma has a shot to win in this game, they need Kyler Murray to perform at a very high level. They need Kyler Murray to keep the Alabama defense honest. They need Kyler Murray to make some ridiculous plays. They need Kyler Murray to make third down conversions, I think, which is the key to this football game is, three things really is third down conversions, the quarterback play, and then who wins the turnover battle, I think is a huge part in this game. Now, as far as the Alabama side goes, we know how much talent is on both sides of the football. This Alabama team, since Nick Saban took over, I think is the greatest football dynasty in college football history. When you take a look at how they've won the competition, toughest conference, Nick Saban, they were not Alabama. until Nick Saban got there. And then he rebuilt it with homegrown players from Hoover and other high schools, guys like Julio Jones, going into those gymnasiums, going into coaches' offices, going into players' rooms and saying, look, you guys shouldn't be going to anywhere. You shouldn't be going to USC. You shouldn't be going to Texas. You shouldn't be going to Florida State. You shouldn't be going to LSU. You shouldn't be going to Oklahoma. You shouldn't be going to Ohio State or anywhere up the eastern seaboard. You need to go to Alabama. You need to stay home and revitalize this program because it's going to be elite again. And I know everybody here grew up as an Alabama fan, so you can be the guys to help change it. And so guys bought into that, and Nick Saban, and look, trust me when I tell you, you can read the book by Monty Burke. It's his bio. And it outlines everything beautifully in there in terms of how Alabama got back to being Alabama. But in this game, look, the offense, we know Tua Tagovailoa. We're assuming that he'll be healthy for the game on Saturday. If he is not even, I don't know, if there's even a chance that he's not healthy, they could certainly put Jalen Hurts in there and still be a pretty good team. But to me, Tua kind of brings them up a level. I know what Jalen Hurts did in the SEC title game against Georgia, but Tua is just another level. He just ratchets it up a little bit more in terms of what he can do on the football field. He's so stinking dynamic. And Nick Saban is going to be going up against an Oklahoma team that, let's be honest, defensively, this Oklahoma team is going to need to find a way to get a couple stops. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they got to figure out a way to get a couple of stops in this game. Get the ball back over to Kyler Murray. Let him do his thing. Let him perform in the red zone. I'm just not sure if this Oklahoma team is going to be able to slow down the Alabama offense, and then the pressure is on with Kyler Murray to score, just like the regular season. Remember, I did a video on this not too long ago comparing the Heisman Trophy candidates, and the one thing that Kyler Murray had over Tua Tagovailoa, in my opinion, going into this thing, it was very, very simple. And that is that the pressure is there to have to score every single time. Granted, the Big 12 defenses are freaking putrid, but there's still a pressure to go and score all the time because your defense can't stop anybody. Same exact thing going here for Kyler Murray and company. They've got to score as many times as they can against the Alabama defense. The three keys in this game to me, again, quarterback play, turnovers for sure, and I think third down conversions. But I will throw one other key out there that's going to be extremely, extremely important, and that is red zone efficiency. If you're Oklahoma, you're not going to be able to beat Alabama with field goals. When you get down to the red zone, you got to get 6. You can't get 3. That's going to be a huge thing to watch as well. Alabama, when they're down there, I would expect that they're going to succeed more times than not. But Oklahoma, once they get down to the red zone, Nick Saban and company, they really tighten up the defense, and we know that it's easier to guard the red zone than it is the entire field as well, because there's just there's fewer. It's a smaller amount of space. It's been proved time and time again that red zone defense is actually, even if you're scored upon, easier than, let's say, defending from the other side of the football field on the 25 or 30 yard line. So those are the keys for me. I'm going to take Alabama in this game. I'm going to go 31-24. I think they neutralize Oklahoma enough to 24 points. Remember, we've seen points get scored against Alabama's defense the last several years. We saw Deshaun Watson and Clemson do it multiple times. In fact, he's the only guy who's been able to get to a Nick Saban defense and beat them. I think Oklahoma will score a little bit of points, but I think Alabama will be able to neutralize them a little bit, especially in the middle of the field. They want to try and keep Kyler Murray in the pocket as well, but I'll take Bama 31-24, and I'll take Clemson close as well, 38-31. Over Notre Dame. Can't wait for these games. College football playoff on Saturday. They start early. I'll be going to Bonaventure, Syracuse, and then watching these games. What a Saturday. What a way to start to get into the next sports year of 2019. Mike Lindsley here, 9 minutes with you, IGTV, Facebook, and YouTube from the Phoenix Sports Restaurant. Get down here, lunch, dinner, and more, and bet on the ponies next door as well. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.